Hey guys, what's growing? It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I am going to be starting some seeds today, including a bunch of sweet peas. So the rains in California are over for now. We do have some more rain coming tomorrow, but it's not going to be torrential like it has been. The other night, was it Sunday night? It was a very strong storm. It woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning with super, super loud, intense rain. So much so that I started to get a little worried because it wasn't just coming across in big bands like it usually does. This was like sustained torrential rain for well over an hour. And I was starting to really worry about the hillside and our trees. And of course, it's the middle of the night. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, everything so far looks to be okay. However, a lot of times these slides and stuff can happen days after the rain goes away as the soil is trying to release some of that water. So fingers crossed that nothing gets worse. I'm sure you've seen on the news lots of crazy sinkholes and mudslides and flooding and just all kinds of stuff. I feel so awful for people who are suffering from these storms right now. But today, I'm going to take advantage of the first dry day that we've had really in weeks, other than like the here and there, partly cloudy days. And I'm going to start seeds. It's week 3, so I'm starting my week 3 seeds. Because we didn't have any rain last night and there was no clouds, it got real cold again. All through these, these heavy rainstorms, we've been going down just into the 40s. And last night we went to 32 at my house. So it was definitely cold this morning, and it's still very cold in here today. It's up to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit now. What is that, 10 degrees Celsius, 11 degrees Celsius? But it feels colder because everything's so damp. The water has finally kind of dried up from, the soil in here is not dry, the gravel, but there's no standing water anymore, which is good. So now I'm out here, I'm looking forward to starting seeds. And what I'm going to do is start a variety of seeds today. Today I'm going to start some Gomphrena. I have, I think, 3 successions of Gomphrena. These are also known as Globe Amaranth this year. And this one is the pastel mix from Floret. Then I have the Audrey mix from Johnny's, and then I have Audrey White and Bicolor Rose. Now I have more summery colors and autumn colors, and those will be in later successions. The other thing I'm going to do is start some more lettuce and some Swiss chard, because I have room in the garden to start putting that out. The seedlings that we have in here right now looking pretty good. This is the mustard blend and the little gem lettuce. So these guys coming up, and they don't have their true leaves yet. These, when you see a seedling get its first leaves, these are called the cotyledon leaves. And they are not true leaves. So when you read a seed packet or something tells you wait until the first set of true leaves comes up, that's the first set of leaves after these cotyledon leaves. So all I have right now on all of these is cotyledon leaves. This is the bok choy right here. And then there's only a few, no Chinese celery have come up yet. I assume that's going to take a long time. At least that's what I've read on the seed packets. And then we have some of the, let's see, what is this? Cynoglossum has been coming up. The delphinium haven't come up yet, but I'm not worried about that. Those are just for the cottage garden. And then we have some of the violas. And again, just the cotyledons, not the true leaves yet. So I took them all off the heat because they don't really need it to germinate so much now that most of them have germinated. And it saves more room on the seed mats. So I have 4 shelves here that have seedling heat mats on them. It's kind of tough. This is not a custom system, obviously. So these heat mats are 10 inches by 20 inches, and they're great, but they're too small for these shelves. I've tried this one. I'm going to give it a try this time, putting 2 on here. and see what that does. I do have a large one. It's up here. Okay, this one up here is very large, and I have not tried using this before. I bought it in the hopes that I would use it in the greenhouse, but since we don't have any electricity out there, obviously that's not going to happen. So I thought I'd set it up on this top shelf because everything else is just, I mean, it's too big for all the other shelves, and it even overlaps here. But I'm going to do it anyway. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get, you know, I could put the trays for the sweet peas up there, and I think that will work just fine. So what is going to be my system for the sweet peas? You know, normally I start things in soil blocks, but I don't do that with sweet peas. Okay, these are left over from previous plugs that I brought in last year. They've been washed and sanitized, but do you see how deep they are? So this allows, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because when I pulled these apart, small tarantula ran out, and I know it's not going to hurt me, but it still gives me kind of the willies. Anyway, so these are nice and deep, and so I can start sweet peas in here. They're also easy to get the plugs out when they're ready to go in the ground, so these will get a good head start before I put them out. You can direct sow sweet peas, and a lot of people do, but I find when I do that, they germinate just fine, but they get totally decimated by birds and mice and everything else in my garden, even if I try to protect them. I do find if I put out much larger starts that they tend to survive and take hold. So all of these are going to be going out to the farm. Maybe not all of them. I'll probably put some of them around here, but the aim for these is to go out to the farm. So what I'm going to do is fill these trays with, I'm using Pro Mix today. I need to mix up a new batch of soil blocking mix, but I haven't done that yet. That's going to be in a little while. Right now I want to focus on the sweet peas. So I'm not going to do anything to this Pro Mix. It's already got a bunch of good stuff in it. And as they get bigger, I will fertilize them in these trays, as well as pinching them so that they'll be multi-branched. And so I don't have to worry about doing like super fertilization in here right now. Okay, so here's the first tray. I'm going to do the identical thing with these guys. This I haven't moistened yet. I'm going to wet this down really well. And then before I do that, I have this tray underneath that caught all the stuff that fell through the holes. I'm just going to put this back in the bag, or even better yet, dump it into this tray. But these trays will hold the water, catch the water from these plug trays as I water them as the sweet peas are growing. So I'm just going to continue filling these trays, get these watered in, and then we'll look at the seeds that we're going to start. Okay, so I have filled the trays. You can see here, and what I did was I actually took them outside and used the hose to spray them down multiple times because this soil was very, very, very dry, and just pouring some water on the top, it would just sit on the top. So I wanted to really saturate them. Now I have this wooden dowel with a point on the end, and I'm going to use it to poke holes in all of these cells where I'm going to drop the seeds. You can just use your finger if you want. And see, I can see even down here, there's still some dry soil. So I think what I'm also going to do is, yeah, I'm like breaking the surface and there's still some dry soil in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll still start these in here, but I'm going to fill these trays with water, and they can soak up water slowly over the next 24 hours into the soil here, and it will hydrate the soil. So just poking all these holes, and then we're going to put our sweet peas, drop our seeds down in here. I like to plant mine fairly deep, and that gives them some more sturdiness because they tend to be very floppy. You know, sweet peas are climbers, and so if you plant them too shallowly, they will get super, you know, not strong root systems. And so, all right, so I'll do the rest of these trays soon. I have a whole bunch of different varieties here. Some of these are just left over, so I'll have just a handful, and I'm actually not going to bother labeling these trays, which seems very weird and probably a bad idea, but I'm not really planning on doing I'm not going to sell any of these to the wholesaler. They're just going to go in bouquets occasionally, and they're also going to, you know, I'm going to do all kinds of stuff with them. So I don't need to label the varieties. And especially since I'm only going to have, like in this case, this perennial blend, I only have a handful of seeds, right? So I'm not going to worry about labeling. I'm just going to start filling up the trays, and then, you know, whatever comes up, and they'll be beautiful, and I'll enjoy them. They will, if I can get long enough stems. Sometimes I can't get long enough stems on sweet peas. Sometimes they're nice and long. So in this case here, I've got a early multiflora blend here. So basically I just, if I can get nice and long stems, then I will use those in bouquets. Otherwise, I like to just make fresh bouquets in mason jars. These are beautiful in mason jars, and they smell amazing. Lots of different varieties of sweet peas that you can get out there. Most of this tray is going to be these guys, and it's a blend, so I'm not too worried about that. These next two trays, I'm going to probably do a row each, meaning only like 4 cells, not a whole row of this way, but a row this way, of these other varieties, so that I can get some options. So what are the other varieties? So we have, and not all these are going to have pictures, but I have this Royal Blend here, which I think I actually just put in. No, that was early multiflora blend. Okay, so I have a Royal Blend, Spencer Ruffled. We also have more of the perennial blend, which I'm not going to bother planting because I just did that. Bouquet Blend, Elegance Blend, and then this one I really want. This is Streamer's Chocolate. There's no picture on here, but this is from Johnny's. Streamer's Chocolate is a gorgeous variety. I'm probably going to do 2 rows of those, so 8 plants. We have Saltwater Taffy Swirl, Beaujolais, which is really pretty, nice dark color. And then these are from Floret, and these are definitely all going to get a row. This is Anniversary, Castle Wellion, Blue Shift, Windsor, and then my final ones, I have Molly Rillstone, an Ambrosia Mix, and then 2 from Geoseed. This one's called America, and this one's Old Spice Mix. So I'm going to put all of these, pop them all in and see. I'm going to start with all the Floret ones because I know I want to grow those for sure. And then if we still have leftover cells, then I'll put some of the other blends in. All right, time to get going. Goodness gracious, it's cold out here. I mean, it's still only 52 degrees, 11 Celsius here in the greenhouse. And mostly, I mean, that doesn't feel that cold normally, but it's very wet. So my hands are shivering. Yeah, it's chilly in here, I think because the ground is so wet. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Coming up this week, I'm going to be, well, tomorrow we have another day of rain. And then I'm going to go back out to the farm, get more weeding done, not in the growing beds, but elsewhere on the property, and pot up a bunch of peonies. And then I'm also going to get started getting the planning going for the chicken run here at home. So there's some stuff coming up. We'll be doing more seed starting. I think we have seed starting every week now through March and into April. So the season is just starting to kick off, and I'm really excited to be doing it. I'm also going to be doing a total refresh on the green stalks because I'm growing, you know, stuff that's going to go in there. And earlier today, I cleaned out the strawberry pockets in there. The strawberry plants are still there, but I cleared off all of the dead leaves and stuff from there. And there's lots of new growth coming up, which looks really nice. And I've even got a few berries starting on there too. So hoping to get, I'm actually going to add some strawberries to that tower. It's going to be, right now it's strawberries and herbs, and I'm going to convert it to entirely strawberries. And I'm going to convert the other tower, which has up to this point been greens like lettuce and bok choy and stuff like that. That will be converted entirely to herbs. And the reason for that is that now that I have more space to plant out front, I can plant all my lettuces and stuff as row crops. So moving forward, I won't need those green stalks for greens. And it's really nice to have a green stalk right outside the kitchen so that I can come get all of my herbs without having to go all the way to the front garden. So, and I'll have a bigger variety too because I'll have more pockets to put them in. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one.